So let's get more information. Julien Laurens joining us now from vacation. Jules, thanks so much for being with us. So let's unpack it. Let's start on what we do know from these latest reports today.
I mean, the big news, of course, Kay, yesterday was the fact that they excluded Kylian from the squad that traveled to Japan today on Saturday, which was a new twist in this incredible saga, something that nobody saw coming, nobody expected, Kylian including, and his family including. It was an incredible move, let's put it that way, by PSG, by saying to maybe the best player in the world, hang on, you still don't want to sign a new deal with us, because that's what Kylian, again, repeated to the club earlier this week. So because you don't want to commit your future with us, because you still want to run down your contract, then we can't count on you. And we only want to take players to Japan, players that are committed to this football club and players who we will rely on for the season to come and the following one, and etc., etc. So you're not part of our plans. Kylian took it, was surprised by it, accepted it. I think was disappointed. Of course, he wanted to go to Japan. He scored a goal on Friday for the first friendly in the preseason for PSG against Le Havre. But that's why the club, they wanted to be tough. They've said before that if he doesn't commit to the club, they would put him on the transfer list, which they will do from the 31st of July. But we know nobody expected the fact that he could be dropped from the squad traveling to Japan.
Are PSG within their rights to do this? The reaction that they've had to it all?
Yeah, it's a bit, the line is a bit blurry in the sense that they are, for the big squads, for example, and the players that you don't want in your first team squad, you can, as long as you put together a structure with a professional coach or coaches to make those players do normal training sessions so they can stay fit, they can still play football, they can still train, then that's fine. If you just put them on the side and make them train with the under 21s or things like that, that's a little bit different. But what PSG are intending to do now with Mbappe, but also with the likes of Paredes and Gini Wijnaldum, for example, those kind of players that they don't want to keep at the club for next season, that they want to let go, they want to find a club too, then they're going to put a structure together to train on the side, out away from the first team and from Luis Enrique's squads. So that you can do. However, there's still some complaints in France from the Players' Union, for example. But from the Mbappe clan, we haven't heard any complaints. They just, like I said before, they accepted the decision, the sanction, really, because it is a sanction. It's not just a decision. He's been sanctioned by the club for not wanting to renew his contract. And I think they're going to go along with whatever they do. But people at the club are telling me that they are considering never playing him again. So whether he stays the whole season and they never play him the whole season, whether they decide to not play him at all until his transfer is done to Real Madrid or wherever else in the world. But there are people at the club who believe that he should never wear that shirt again.
You said to Real Madrid or wherever else in the world. Is it just Real Madrid and PSG, or is it likely that it could be a club in, say, Saudi Arabia, where we're hearing reports? Chelsea have been mentioned as well, Jules.
So from what I know and I've been told, he only wants to go to Real Madrid if he was to leave PSG. Again, let's repeat for everybody to understand. He wants to stay in Paris for this season coming, to run down his contract and be a free agent in the summer 2024 to go wherever he wants. Again, very likely to be Real Madrid, but that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to leave the club right now. PSG, because he doesn't want to renew his contract and extend it, they don't want to lose him for free in a year time. So that's why they want to sell him, and that's why he's not going to Japan. But he only wants Real Madrid. On the other hand, the Saudis probably have enough money to sign him, but he doesn't want to go there. And PSG, with the Qatari ownership, will not sell to Saudi anyway. Chelsea don't have enough money to sign him. Let's be honest here and let's be realistic. Same with Liverpool. The only other club really right now who has the money to sign Kylian Mbappe would be Manchester City, I guess. And I'm not even sure if they would take the risk, considering everything that is already above them in terms of potential sanction and what they did in the past. So really, apart from Real Madrid, nobody else, I believe right now, apart from the Saudis, can afford Kylian Mbappe. And he would not want to go anywhere else than the Bernabeu anyway.
What's been the reaction to it all, Jules, in France? I mean, obviously it's ongoing, but it is another update in this ongoing story.
Incredible, Ken. Really, the twist that I mentioned. I mean, you can say whatever you want. It was seismic. It was an earthquake. It was incredible. When we got the news last night around 10 p.m. French time, just before they actually made that squad official to go to Japan, and they were briefing the media. It was like, what? Really? So like they're really not going to go to Japan with Kylian Mbappe. And yeah, that's the stance that they took. They wanted to be tough. They wanted to be strict. We talked a lot before, Kay, on the show about PSG being too lenient and not strong enough with the players, that players could do what they want at the club and there was no discipline. I think they would like, and they're trying to show that things have changed. We saw it with Messi when he was sanctioned during the season. We see it now with Mbappe being sanctioned as well. Whether you agree or not with what they're doing, with Kylian's decision, the club's decision, that's another debate. But they want to be tough. And when Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the president, spoke to the players on Tuesday and Kylian was there in the room, he said, nobody is bigger than the club. Not, and he didn't mention any names, but we knew that meant Neymar or Messi or Mbappe. And he also said that if you're not committed to the club, if you don't want to wear the shirt, the door is open for you to go. And again, he didn't name Kylian himself, but everybody knew he was talking about Kylian. So let's see what happens in August now. Let's see for how long they keep him outside of the first team squad, for example. And let's see when the talks are starting with Real Madrid, because it will be inevitable that at some point Florentino Perez picks up the phone and calls Nasser Al-Khelaifi to see what they can do this summer.
So let's say, Jules, that he doesn't sign with PSG, he doesn't sign this new contract, but he does stay at PSG for the remainder of, well, the season that's ahead. Are you honestly telling me that PSG would just sit the best player in the world and have him on the bench all season?
That's certainly what they are telling us. And again, this is the reality today, that the club is considering this, that people at the club are thinking about it. They did it for Rabiot, for example, who didn't play between January and May when he didn't want to extend his contract and he was running down his contract. Mbappe is no Rabiot, or Rabiot is no Mbappe. But it's a similar situation with a player, your best player, maybe the best player in the world, who's saying, hang on, no, I'm going to run down my contract and you're going to get nothing when I leave, basically. And the club doesn't want that. Again, you will have to force Kylian Mbappe to leave then, because if he doesn't want to leave and you've got an agreement with Real Madrid, it doesn't matter. If he says, I'm staying, he will stay. You can't force a player to leave your club unless you said to the player, either you accept Real Madrid's offer or somebody else's offer, or if you stay, we're not going to play you. But again, that would be another twist. That would be a new height in the saga if PSG said to Kylian, if you want to stay, you can stay, but you will never play for this team this season, which I don't think it's possible. I don't think he would accept it. I don't know, but maybe that's the next move that they have. It's hard to tell now. It's still very early in the summer, let's be honest. But again, I think everything is possible in this incredible saga.
Yeah, I was just going to say, what do you think happens next? But obviously it's too hard to tell, especially with the twists and turns that we have seen. Jules, we're going to let you get back to your vacation with your family. We thank you so much for joining us for this incredible news, the latest news with Kylian Mbappe and PSG.